Strick. We are here in the community of Ecamm. We're on our YouTube channel, we're on my Facebook page, and we're on LinkedIn. Can you believe all that?
That's a lot of places.
That is a lot of places.
So there shouldn't be any reason you don't watch us.
Right.
So we give you plenty of choices.
Well, they say don't multi-stream. It'll hurt your community. We're going everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about distribution, right? Try to go as many places. Some people like Facebook, some people like YouTube. You know, we're just trying to help streamers succeed. So wherever you watch it, we try to be there.
So last week we had somebody on, man, dude. I want to tell you about Chris Stone, man.
That was a good show.
Wow. Awesome show. I like his personality. Dealcasters, Chris Stone, check him out. They're doing Amazon Live, and I actually went in and watched them the other day. And really good show. They were interviewing. They have a show similar to ours, interview style, but they're doing it on Amazon Live. And they're big advocates for creators getting on Amazon Live. So, hey.
Yeah, after that episode of friend I work with, she's been doing really good on TikTok. She has like 7,000 followers. I sent her all the links and told her about our show and said, you know, she needs to get on the TikTok. You know, people that have it or could have enough followers are not interested. And I'm trying to tell her, like, she does cooking videos. I was like, you should probably do it over on Amazon, make some money.
Right. Why not? That being said, you guys know how we do the countdown. Just opportunity for Brant and I to kind of catch up with each other. So this is no big deal. This is not news stories, no more than news to each of us. That being said, Brant, how was your week, sir?
Oh, let's see. This week was it was busy. We had a prom last night for my daughter. So she's
that ought to be
senior.
fun.
So that was fun. So getting ready for that, you know, during the week. And then just a lot of, you know, work and running kids around and all that good stuff. So trying to get ready to wrap up for the summer. We're ready to get out of school.
It is really that close, isn't it?
Yeah, what, 3 or 4 weeks. So yeah, I think it'll be 4 weeks this week. So just all that kind of family stuff. My wife we had some car issues, so she had to buy a new car.
Wow.
But she had to order it, so we're carpooling for the last 2 weeks, and we'll probably be carpooling for another 2 or 3 weeks. It's just
so what's worse, getting a new car or having a carpool for a month?
Oh, I have fun carpooling with her. We just, you know, when we were talking about being American is so like you don't have your car, you don't have your sense of personality. You know what I mean? It's just like you want to go, you go, right? And when you got the carpool, you can't go when you want to go.
Are you guys in the car picking up the kids singing songs?
Yeah,
tell them
in the morning.
Brant, let them know
the morning
you're singing songs.
The morning is a little like everybody's got coffee. Like, oh yeah, right. Get to work. But yeah, it's been fun. It's no big deal. I'm just running. So anything we have to do, we have to plan and do together in one car. So, and then I'm having a little bit of car trouble, so I went and looked at cars, and there's just nothing out there. Like, there's just lots are empty. There's still nobody getting, and prices are like double. Like some cars are just double what they should be, just because it's the only one.
The scooter, man, pull the scooter out.
Yeah, I've got the scooter, but it only goes like 35, and traffic goes 45, so they'll be mad at me, you know. And I had one picked out that I was gonna buy, and it sold too once prices went high. So you just can't get stuff right now.
Wow.
So,
I get it.
I need some more. So we need some more sponsors so I can buy a Tesla. That's what
I know it, right? We need one of those kind of sponsors. Maybe Twitter sponsor us or something. Huh?
Yeah,
Stream
Elon
show sponsored by Twitter.
Oh, that's gonna be a crazy mess. Hot mess
so?
with Elon Musk and Twitter. I don't know. I don't know that, you know, all these rich people should own all of our media, but you know, it's just the way it is.
I mean, he's buying a company for $43 billion.
Right.
Just think about his net worth and what he's able to do. What if you were in his position?
I think what he's doing with SpaceX is awesome. I'd probably focus on that, you know, and try to save the world. You know,
I get it.
So here we go. We're in 3, 2, 1.
You got me, DJ Strick and Brent Collins. We are the Stream Guys, and you're watching the Stream Show. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us tonight. We've just done a talk, and Brent, I was so engaged into this conversation, I forgot to even say hello to Melvin Miller.
I know I saw Melvin pop in there. He's on Facebook, so I'm watching the YouTube channel. So I didn't see anybody over there, but I see that Melvin came in through the Restream bot. So hello, Melvin. Thank you for joining. Looks like we got 7 or 8 people watching. So
that's pretty cool.
Appreciate everybody taking their Sunday evening to watch and hang out with us.
Exactly. You know, when we started, we were in a pandemic trying to figure out what day would be the best day. Sunday nights just seemed to be the best for 2 of us. And man, we really came out like rockets inside of the Ecamm community on Sunday nights. We're having people all over the world watch the Stream Show.
Yeah, and it's been Sunday night's actually been a good, some people, it's like a good start for the week for me, like getting the show done, and we're out through the week, and we felt like everybody's kind of settled in down for got to get home, you got to get ready, you got to get school, work the next day. So Sunday nights ended up working for us so far.
It has led to some more things, including an opportunity for me to be inside of the OneStream Live community on Monday nights. So I went from doing something just on Sundays to now doing something on Monday nights. Brent, I really had to drop a show to do this new show. Like, I've been so busy.
I watched your first episode last week. You did a great job. So
I appreciate your kind words. It really wasn't that good. I know it's
challenging. It is challenging to do it by yourself. It is.
Yeah. We got a ways to go to figure this one out. Really do.
There we go. Melvin said he's doing double duty, watching you guys and my radio show. So great job. Thanks a lot. And I too started my new podcast. Got 1 episode out. I didn't do one this week, but I will get back on it this week. Probably every other week. I need to keep them coming. I'd like to do it weekly, but I was just still trying to find my way too. So, talking for an hour to yourself is a little, you got to make some notes.
Man.
No, I know. We just got to make some notes, right? I've got so many things I want to cover.
Right.
But, I still have a day job, and we still, all these other things going on the Stream Show, freelance work on the side that I do, websites development and stuff like that. So there's always enough to do. How about that?
Always enough to do. And in what we do, our job here is to help streamers succeed. So in doing that, we got some really, really cool friends that come hang out with us from time to time. And we got one of our cool friends in right now, and I don't want to waste another moment without bringing him onto the stage to hang out with us. None other than content coach Kevin Kolbe. How are you doing, sir?
I am fantastic, and I'm sorry your other 14 guests bailed and you got stuck with me.
Being stuck with you is a good thing to have happen. Listen, sir, you're one of the best.
Thanks.
I know you're one of the best, man, and I always appreciate your willingness to come on and hang out with us because you bring so much value. And we got a good one today, man. I feel like I'm gonna have to pull it out of you, but we're gonna get some content for these streamers today.
Sweet, let's do it. Let's bring it on.
Let's get it on. Let's get it on. So let me get started. So Brant and Kevin, you guys help me out. We are in the content creator coaching circles, right? Yeah. And we hear people all the time being very direct with telling people what kind of equipment they need, what kind of lights they need. I mean, like brands, like you need this brand audio, you need this brand light, you need this, you need that. And sometimes they can be so emphatic about what you need. And we all know that, man, there's hundreds of different brands that are out there right now, hundreds of brands. And to be honest with you, sometimes with the hundreds of brands, the equipment is the exact same with a different brand name on it. Did you guys know that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like the store brand versus the name brand. When I worked at Sears in high school, stocking shoes, I think it was my title, stock boy. And I found out quickly that I think they carried Adidas for, let's just say $40, or they carried the Sears brand for like $20. And Sears actually bought the shoes from Adidas minus the Adidas logo,
right,
slapped the Sears logo on it. And we would have people come in going, I would never wear that. I only wear Adidas. It's like, dude, you could save $20. It's the same shoe.
Right.
So if Run DMC would have just wore the shell-toed Sears,
It'd
my
have been over
Sears.
with. It'd have been
It
over
just didn't
with.
go off the tongue. Yeah,
It doesn't have the same ring to it, though, does
yeah,
it?
my Sears
Sears.
shoes. No, wouldn't work. You know, one of the things I do. I'm sorry, I moved too much. My camera's trying to focus on me. Hopefully we can find it back here.
Brant, focus.
I know it, right?
It's
Focus,
what I
Brant.
Focus.
Yeah.
Focus. It's supposed to be on eye focus, so it's a little screwy. Why don't you switch cameras there, Strick, and I will take care of it.
All right, here we go. Let me try it. I'll put it on Kevin. Let me ask you this quick question. We talked about the Sears brand. Let's just get right into it and talk about the audio. I see you're rocking the that's that a Rodecaster mic?
It's the Rode Pod mic.
Pod mic.
Yeah.
Pod mic, and of course, I'm a Shure SM7B guy.
Which is a great mic.
Which is a great mic. So when we talk about audio, and there has to be, I know of at least 50 different mics that are very, very high quality microphones that you can use.
Oh, yeah.
When someone is like, you got to use SM7B, you need to pod mic. How does that sound as we're trying to help? Like if you're coaching someone as a content creator, how are you coaching them about what type mic they need?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I try and stop. I mean, I will tell people, I mean, to me, this is one of the best mics I've used. It's not the best mic. In fact, I even have before this one, I had a Samsung Q2U, which is a phenomenal mic. What I think, honestly, two things. One, you need a mic. You need, you need some kind of audio, right? Now, if you're just out, you got your phone out, you're vlogging, you're having a good time, you might get away with that. But you do need a mic. As far as, the best mic, the best camera, the best light, there isn't one. There's a preferred. I like Canon. I like my Canon cameras. Is it the best camera? No. But is it Sony? No. Is it Panasonic? No. But I think sometimes, and I am a professional content creator, even though I don't know why I'm doing the air quotes. I am, but I do think
no need for the quotes. You are.
But I do think sometimes there are some pros that have treated it like it's like this exclusive club. And I think what happens is you start shaming people for what they have or what they can afford or what they want, rather than saying, well, that's cool. I mean, I remember being in a group once, and this lady was so excited. She bought her first mic, and it was a Blue Yeti mic, which I have back there on the shelf. And she was so excited. And this guy just ripped her one because it's a horrible mic. And, and so I said, well, it's her first mic. It's great. Well, I've been doing audio for 20, 30 years. And I thought, and you just killed whatever excitement she had.
Right.
So, yeah, I like what I like. I promote what I like. But you know what? If you're a Sony guy, good for you. Good for you. If you're a webcam guy, I've even changed what I thought about that in laptops. I mean, creating something is better than worrying about getting the best and then not doing anything, I think.
You just crushed, Brant, he just crushed the whole show with all the other questions that I have.
Oh, sorry.
Like there's nothing else I could ask.
Everybody.
I know it, right? He just crushed the whole show. Like, that is so true. Now, Kevin and Brant, too, you guys have years of experience with tech, with lights, with cameras and all of that. Does that make a difference from what type of equipment you get? Does your experience, come on, you can use any microphone and make it sound good.
For me, it's always about when I did video production, I went with things that were it's about durability. When you work in TV, you got you got 20, 30 guys running around dragging gear all over town, dropping it, stepping on it, whatever. So having some really good, we used a lot of Sennheiser products, a lot of the Sennheiser, I still have an old set of Sennheiser wireless lapels, because they're just kind of bulletproof, so they're expensive, but when you're doing it at a professional level, it's more, or for not a professional, but if you're doing it for a living, these tools are part of your tool, just like a hammer is for a carpenter. Yes, you can, you can buy a cheap hammer, but you might want to buy one that's works and fits your hand well, and it's going to, it just really, when it comes down to your day-to-day work, that's kind of like, an office chair or a desk. If you are a content creator, you're sitting at your desk all day. Those things are really important, I think, and so, and I'm a Panasonic guy. I've had good luck with Panasonic cameras, so I'm kind of true to Panasonic. I like the Sony stuff. I've always had really good luck with Sony audio gear, and I've always had good luck with Sony cameras. So I don't really look at the brand as much as I look what's your price point, and make sure that people don't spend good money on a bad product. Like, yeah, I think a Blue Yeti's great, but I've had some people get some cheapy, wireless lapel mics that just sound like crap, and they spent $50, and they could have saved, another 50. They could have bought a, the Rode wireless or something, and in my opinion, right now, I'm just a big fan of all the Rode gear, even for my professional stuff. If the price point is good, the mic Kevin has is $99. It's probably as good as you're going to get in that price range. Same thing with the wireless mics. The $300 for 2 lapel mics and 1 receiver. I put it on my iPhone. I put it on my cameras. Everywhere. I mean, it's just their products are so good for the price that everybody's using them.
Yeah. I think too often I see folks, especially beginners, and I understand it. It's like I think there's this fear I'm going to buy the wrong thing. And so they start asking, well, what's the best, we'll just talk about what's the best mic I can get. And usually they never say, oh, by the way, I've only got about $100 in my budget, which there's nothing wrong with. And so, what happens is then if somebody starts recommending a $200 or $300 mic, maybe a great mic, you're like, well, I guess I need that. Maybe not. Like the Samsung mic we mentioned, it's like a $60 mic. It
70.
sounds great.
It does.
It sounds great.
And it's so what happens is, let me do this really quick. Janae chimed in with 3 Legends. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for watching.
Sweet.
And I didn't shout out our principal, Miss Kathy Walker. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Guys, if you have something you want to add to the conversation, please just put it in the comments here, and I'll definitely bring it up. We would love to hear what you think about this as well. So one of the things, there he is, Richard. I knew you're right on time, sir. You are right on time. So one of the things that I think that people may miss it on is sometimes it's not about the equipment, but what the equipment says. So me using an SM7B, industry standard for some podcasts, you see a lot of professional podcasters using this mic. It's not about just the sound, but what it brings to this square that I'm in, that I have this mic. It kind of already for a lot of people, because the first time I got it, I took a picture of it and put it up and got a whole bunch of likes. I don't know. Of course I'm in radio. I know what the SM7B is, and I know how good it can sound and all of that. But I really could have, I was going to get the pod mic. Literally, I was going to get the pod mic because I felt, based on my research, for the money, that was a better mic to get for the money. But I went this route because, of course, when you're in the business, some wholesalers, you can get it for a better price.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, and, my advice to anybody, too, starting out that's watching this or whenever they watch is like, be careful about chasing the prestige thing. It's easy to do. You can kind of tell on YouTube when a new product drops because the bigger channels, some of the influencers, they're all reviewing it at the same time.
Right.
And typically they're all pretty glowing reviews, the now some of them are straight up, like Tom Buck. I think we know Tom Buck. He'll just tell you right up front, I'm going to say what I want to say about this product, whether I like it or not. And I really trust his opinion on things, but he'll even tell you, that's just his opinion. And I think, if you're starting out, if somebody's trying to convince you to buy a certain brand, if they're giving you their opinion on it, why they like it, why they think it would be a good investment, and the pros and the cons, cool. But if they're saying, like, basically you're a dork if you don't buy this, I I wouldn't
Oh
watch them.
man. Oh
Listen to them.
man.
Yeah,
Like
because
that. That's
it's just
crazy.
not that way. Yeah.
So again, Kathy chimes in. I love my Samsung Q2U, and it's been the number one recommended to folks. Okay, and then she also talked about her pod mic. She liked the pod mic paired with the Rodecaster Pro. All right, so which I love it. I have the Rodecaster Pro, and I really think it's a great addition
Yeah.
to what I'm using here. But because I'm in the business again, see, sometimes we have equipment that we didn't purchase that were gifts,
Yeah.
from other industry people, and we have the equipment. But if it was me spending, what is that, $699
Oh, it's
for the
pretty pricey.
for the
Yeah.
Rodecaster Pro,
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
don't have one.
sure that I would have done that. I had
Yeah.
an interface that I was using that was great. My mic was sounding great through that interface. Rodecaster Pro, I will tell you, I absolutely love it. But I'm still just sending one microphone through it, or
Yeah.
sometimes two if I ever have a guest, or I use a different setting for my wife when she needs to use the setup. But it's a great piece of equipment. But how are you going to use this equipment, and could you use something else? What do you think,
Yeah.
Brant?
Well, I mean, I would have probably, to be very clear, the Rodecaster was given to us, and so are the Shure MV7s. So, I didn't have to buy this SM7B. I liked the MV7; it was just fine. The Rodecaster, I needed something at the time because I had an old Behringer mixer that I used for years that had sat in a storage for a little while and got a little corroded. So I'd cleaned it up and was making it work. But, and I ended up buying the Rodecaster for my job at work because it functions so well and so easily. Because I was thinking of other people using it, that you don't really have to know anything to use it. Whereas if you have, a regular board, you can get some really good Sony boards, or Panasonic boards or Yamaha boards that are cheap, that are really, really good 8 inputs, but they get all the knobs, right? And I don't know, it was you spend more time tweaking knobs and, trying to figure out how to do the mix minus, trying to figure that out with wires, not just pushing a button.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it just depends, like, in the environment that you're working in. That's what I guess what I always try to think about is budget, and then who's using this and how can it be. Because I did get, in my new job, I got SM7Bs and I got mic stands, or arms, and everybody walks in and goes, "Oh my god, that looks so professional." My bosses, everybody was like, "Oh my god, this is real." I was like, it worked. It works.
Right.
And they weren't very expensive, but that
Right.
is what some of that is. Even I had a hard time in production. Years ago, you couldn't use a DSLR. You would just get laughed out of
Oh,
you
yeah.
really had to have a big camera and put all, even if you have a FX3, you're putting matte boxes and follow focus, and it's not for you. 9 times out of 10 people don't even know how to use that stuff. But I've had clients say, "Well, that's a professional looking camera." Or you go with your DSLR, like, "Hey, that's just like mine. Why am I paying you so much? I could do it." Like, feel free, go ahead. So
Yeah, you can, but then when you need me, my price will go
right,
up.
Right.
right. So there is a little bit of, there's a little bit of fronting when it comes to,
Yeah.
the media business in a professional sense, especially when you're working with a certain clientele base, and that would be anybody, I think. Musician, look at Henny. He can do everything on his iPad. It took him a long time to convince producers that he could do just as good on his iPad mini or his iPad than you could in a multi-million-dollar studio. And it took a lot for him to do that, and he still won Grammys, right? So, use the tools you're familiar with, use the tools you love. I never could get, like, there's some audio products, like Logic. I never could figure it out, and I'll just do it. I still do audio in Premiere Pro. This is what I know. So it's
Gotcha.
just what works for you. And but there is something that people think that's why influencing works, right? What does Jordan wear? Hey, if I have his shoes, I'll be able to play like Jordan, right? So it just, people try to buy their way um, to look like their favorite person or the pros around them. And we all do it. I mean, but if you really get technical, it's all about that money. And if you have the money to buy the best, but it's not going to make or break your content.
Well, we've seen people have the best equipment and still not able to bring the best product
Yeah.
because they don't know how to use it. So there's
Right.
definitely a difference there.
Yeah. Yeah. I just had lunch with a friend of mine and probably like a mentor too. I've known this guy for years and years and years. In fact, when I used to work in television, how we got to know each other is we hired his production company. He and his wife at the time had a production company to do our shoots, as we would call them, with the anchors. We'd have to
Right.
have them look really good, coming into the news, and we've hit it off. And to put it in perspective, I mean, he has shot documentaries in Antarctica and the rainforest. I mean, he is unbelievable, and a photographer, and an amazing photographer. And we were just talking at lunch that we've seen people do amazing things with an iPhone and just crap with a red. And if people aren't familiar with a red camera, it is an insanely priced camera. And the reality of it is you can have the best stuff in the world, but if you don't know how to use it, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
And you can do amazing stuff with cheap things and stuff like that. I've never ever had a client ask me what gear I'm bringing. Never. What gear I use. Nothing like that. And I think a lot of times the folks that are watching to be educated or to entertain, they don't really care. I mean, my gut is if you polled 1,000 people right now of how Stranger Things was made on Netflix, they couldn't tell you
Right.
because they don't care. They're being entertained. They're amazed and stuff like that. By the way, I don't know how it was made either. I know where it was shot, but that's
Gotcha.
about it. So it's one of those things. You need gear to create, but as I've said before, the gear will not make you any more creative at all. It just helps. It's a tool. That's it.
Yeah, I was a budding young wannabe filmmaker. So that when digital just came out, and that was the holy grail was 24 frames, and you
Yeah.
just couldn't, but the difference then was it was so expensive to shoot on film. Nobody could really be,
Yeah. Yeah.
a
Yeah.
filmmaker. It was just too expensive. And then somebody like who I used to follow, Robert Rodriguez, did El Mariachi by himself, all alone. And that spurred, then the Panasonic came out with the first DV100 that was a 24p camera. We had one in my college. Non-linear editing just started to come out. Final Cut Pro was out. Now all of a sudden the prices became, where everybody could use it,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it wasn't a beta camera. There was a point like probably 10 years ago, it was like you had to go buy beta tape, which is a big, huge tape for the newsrooms.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
to the point now where people are like, anybody have a beta tape? A beta machine. I got to transfer stuff. You can't even find them anymore. So
It's like good
it's
luck
just
with that.
funny how
Yeah.
quick that all, the cycle of, you got to have a lot of, gear. But for me, like the things people should spend money on, like do spend as much as you can on a tripod and head if you're going to be a video person, right? A good video head, a cheap video head sucks. It'll make, I would spend money on the tripod, the head,
Yeah.
C-stands, things like
Yeah.
that last forever,
Yeah.
right? I
I
mean,
mean,
you're going to buy
yeah.
it once and that's it.
I'm not going to put $1,000 camera on a $19 tripod. I'm just not going to
Right.
do that. I don't care how
Right.
good the Amazon basic reviews are. There's a point where it's like, maybe, but I may
Right.
not need a $300 tripod either. I mean, I'll be honest. Last year, I've been trying to streamline more and more what I'm using. What do I really need? To tell the story, to go live, to produce a video. I mean, and what I found is I've got a lot of stuff, and I think we do this as content creators. We keep buying
Right.
because, well, I just ordered last November the new DJI wireless mics because they just looked phenomenal, and then they got delayed and delayed and delayed, and I got them like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't open the box, and I just kept sitting there because they were like 300 something bucks, and I thought, I'm sending them back. I was excited several months ago. I don't need them. I've got the Rode Wireless Go 2s. I don't even use them that much. So,
Right.
do I need it for a review? And I think it's an easy trap to fall into, and it wasn't going to help me do anything more than anything else that I can do. So
I used to go to these seminars for filmmakers, and there was a guy named Dove Simmons, and it was one of my first big seminars I went to with a friend of mine, and there's thousands of people in the room that want to be filmmakers, and he's going to teach you how to make a film. And he's like, how many people have written a script? Everybody in the room raised their hand, right? How many people have written 2 scripts? Everybody's hand went down. He's like, I've written 100 scripts and they all suck. So that, and when you talk to people like, oh, I have a script, but I don't have a camera. I don't have a good enough camera. I don't have this. I don't have that. Yet somebody goes and makes a, documentary on 8mm, or they made it on an iPhone. Even when the iPhones first came out, people were making stuff on iPhones, doing great stuff. And I tell somebody, if you just happen to see, let's just say, we see a UFO tomorrow, it's the thing, and all you have is your iPhone, that's going to be good enough, right? I mean, you're not going to go back in the house and get your Red camera. It's not going to make it any better, So sometimes,
you'll
being there
by the time you go back in and power it up.
Right. Or you're on the street, you're somewhere, and someone famous pops up, and you get a little quick interview on your phone. That's going to be gold. It doesn't matter how it, I just think it's a lot of people don't understand the process enough. They don't understand pre-production. They don't understand scripts. They don't understand, bumps and roll-ins and bumpers and lower thirds, and all this stuff can kind of get confusing to everybody. They just think you turn on the camera and talk. Only DJ Strick can do that. The rest of us have to plan and think and get something together.
But can I throw this out though? I mean, you guys have an amazing look. I mean, it's got to be one of the best live shows out there. I mean, with the animations and the look and it's just, and you guys are just so good at it. But you know what? If somebody was starting tomorrow a live stream and they've never done it, and they tried to emulate everything you're doing, why? Just start, because now you're going to try and figure all this out and go into this. My gut is, we've known each other, what, a year-ish or so.
A little more than a year.
I didn't see your first live streams, but I doubt it looked like this.
No, it didn't look like this. No, not at all.
Yeah, you may not have been that smooth, and we still make mistakes. Just because we're professional doesn't mean we don't have bad days or bad equipment or whatever. And I think people need to give themselves grace and grow into that. It's, I was thinking while you were talking, is that, is this the only profession? And I'm starting to think it is, maybe, where people think I've got to have the best to be able to do. And, we've seen chef shows where they're traveling and they're cooking with, tribes in the mountains that are cooking on rocks, and the food tastes amazing. And, my first car was a crap car, but it got me to where I was going.
Right.
And
right.
Now, to be honest, I'll tell you, I worked with, one of my biggest clients was a hotel here in Little Rock called the Capitol Hotel. And we had a couple chefs that were trying to be James Beard award-winning chefs. I mean, we did a ton of cooking videos, and I've worked around chefs. I have a lot of friends that are chefs. They're just as bad. They have their knife roll, and they've got like Hungarian knives from, or Switzerland. They're like, you're talking about one knife can be $1,000, right? Hairstylists can have $1,000 pair of clippers. So we all do it, whether you're, any hobby, they get us because they're going to just keep getting you the better and better. So it's not just, some people put so much effort into why they can't succeed is because they don't have this.
Yeah.
We actually had somebody call us once. I can't remember who it was, but they were like, all right, I got the SM7B and it still sounds like crap. What am I doing wrong?
What am I doing wrong?
Dad, it was amazing. Yeah.
Right.
So
Take cameras.
Kathy Walker.
If you don't know your settings on your camera, right? If you don't know how to, I did S-Log for my Sony camera for the first time, and I didn't know how to color grade it. It was terrible. It took me 2 weeks to play and learn the settings on the camera. Learn your gear. That's another thing people don't do.
That's so true. That is so true. And Kathy chimed in. I wanted to say this, Brant, that gas is real. Gear acquisition syndrome. That means people are out there buying gear and
Yep.
buying gear, and sometimes they don't even have an application for it. They just wanted to
Yeah.
get that piece of equipment because they saw the last creator had it. And
Yep.
she also says, Doc says, your excuse is valid. Now what? Which I really love, because sometimes you got to tell people, okay, yeah, you got to, that's true, but you still got to make content, or you still would like to make content. So how can we do it? All right. So you think you need what, lighting? You need 3 lights. You think you need 3 lights in your studio. A key light, a fill light, and hair light. You think you need that, but the honest truth is you need one good light positioned the right way in front of you, and you have what you need. I found doing shorts and reels, I actually like using my phone better than anything else right now. So I have this big setup in the studio, but I actually have an arm connected to my rig that I put my phone in. No microphone, one light. Well, I do cheat with the light because the lights make me look so much better. But I go, with just
Yeah.
my iPhone 12 to make my reels, and I can edit inside of the different apps. And there's some tricks to be able to use. What was it? I use SnapTalk. So if I have my TikTok video, that app takes out the watermark, and then I'm able
Oh
to
yeah.
put that up in other places. Yeah, you have to jump through some hoops, but that's where we are right now in making content. But I really feel like if you can make it simple, like what Kevin said earlier, what he's trying to do, streamlining your process,
Yep.
knowing what you do first. Let's just do the basics and learn it, so you'll know what piece of equipment you need to get, and not only know what you need, but why you need it.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I've even tried to go to a system where my gear is just easier to turn on and use.
Gotcha.
And that way, that's one less excuse, plus is I don't, I mean, my office studio is a 11 by 13 former bedroom.
Gotcha.
So I've only got so much space, but I don't want to have to set stuff up and things like that. So I have a camera mounted over here on my desk, and I have one over here on the one stand. And, that way I can power it up and I can be recording
Right.
and turn the mic on. There's the light, and it works. And a lot of times I think that can be a hindrance, for, well, I got to set all this up stuff. But, I mean, my phone, I'm going to a conference later. It's May 1st, isn't it? Later this month. And I'm taking my phone. That's what I'm going to shoot anything I shoot with. My
That's
phone.
awesome.
I'll probably take the new Rode mic I've got with it because it plugs in on it, and a little bitty tripod. That's it. That's it.
And that's
I'm
VidFest
not
you're
gonna lug
speaking at,
anything else.
right?
Do what?
That's VidFest you're speaking at, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm speaking there. Yeah,
Man,
first time ever.
congratulations to you. I
Thanks,
am
man.
trying
I'm
to get
excited.
down there. That day that was that Chris Stone is hosting, the
Yep.
Dealcasters are hosting that day, and
Yep.
so many of our creator friends are on that day. I really want to come down. I'm cracking my piggy banks so I can
Yeah.
get down there.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited to be speaking, but I'm more excited to be able to see people in person that I've
Right,
known for years just this way.
right.
And I don't even care what they're talking about. I just want to go up and hug people and say, "Hey, man."
Exactly,
Wow.
exactly,
That's great. But there
exactly.
is so much that comes from. I'm a big fan of conferences too, and it's the conversations you have.
Yeah.
It's going to dinner with somebody, come up with a new idea for a show, or you meet somebody that changes the direction of your business and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah.
they're
Yeah.
always great to go to.
Oh yeah. 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 I went to Video Marketing World a couple of years ago, I guess, and when it was in Dallas, and before everything changed, and I, some of the friendships I made over that conference now we're very close. And we're, we don't just talk, content all the time either. And I remember the last night there were a bunch of us just in the lobby sitting around talking, and it was just it was the coolest. I mean that alone, we probably sat there for 2 hours talking about
Wow.
Right.
family and everything. That was almost as good as the conference, just
That's
because
awesome.
That's
those are
cool.
those memories and things like that you build up that you can't get back. You can order the videos most of the time and watch the talks over, but it's the after fact, like you're talking about. Huh, that's gold. You know.
Yep, yep. That's what I'm hoping to have an opportunity to experience. That's it is later this month in May, the 25th through the 27th. I think
Something
that's
like that,
right.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we
That sounds right. Yeah,
so it's definitely awesome, and I'm glad the Dealcasters has an opportunity to be a
yeah. They're
part of
great.
that conference, to build a day talking about podcasting and talking about Amazon Live, all the stuff that they're going to be doing.
Yeah,
Definitely
they're
shouts out to them.
phenomenal. Yeah, yeah.
And congratulations to you again
Yeah.
to be
Very
a
good.
speaker. Like, listen, I'll bring my
Thanks.
notepad out for you, sir.
I'll just send you the PowerPoint deck. You don't
Okay,
have to
cool.
worry.
That'll work too.
There you go.
But do show up though.
I know. I really want to make it down there. I really want to make it down there. This has been April was an extremely busy month, so I got a couple of days in May that I'm thinking I may be able to kind of just get away for a little while, and
Cool.
that'll be a good one to come to. That being said, one of the last thing I want to be sure that I talk to you about when we think about content creators is some of the other tools that are out there that young content creators could do. And I'm saying young. I really want to say new content creators, because we know that there's an older demographic that's getting into creating content all the time. Like a lot of the Let's Get Live people are that. So what is something out there that you're using that you think both of you guys will be really cool for somebody to pick up and add to what they're doing?
Well, I mean, one of my go-tos for, constant is Canva. Um, Canva is just amazing, and there's basically two plans. There's an enterprise plan, but I don't think anybody talks about that. There's a free plan, there's a paid plan, and I think the paid plan is $120 a year, and it is phenomenal. I mean, they've added video editing. It's not as good as like Final Cut, but there's photos, there's templates to do anything in there. You can actually screen record in there. Totally forgot you could do that until the other day. There's so many things you can do in there, and
Wait,
if
what? Screen recording?
yes, you can actually do screen recording in Canva with your camera, screen record. It's phenomenal. And
Yeah.
there's music in there and photos, and it's for even the free, but for $120 a year. And the reason I do recommend people think about that is because you get access to more, you can do a little bit more, but you can also try the free, see if that's, if it's even your thing. But oh my word,
Yes.
every graphic I use is done in Canva. Every logo is done in Canva. Everything that I do that involves anything graphical or anything like that is done in Canva. And there's templates, and so to me that's one of those things. And then I edit on Final Cut. I do think Final Cut is the best for a lot of reasons. But if you've never edited and you have a Mac, use iMovie. It's free, and it's gotten better and better and better.
I get it. So I want to ditto what you said about Canva. It is a creator's secret weapon. I promise you, when they added the video editing, now it has some quirks to it, but
Yeah,
it's
it's only
something.
so good. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's some things that they could work out. I do like really quick video announcements for our church. And now with stock video that's taken out Envato, I don't need Envato elements. If I can just get the stock video, sometimes the same stock video from Canva.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, this is good stuff. I mean, that's a whole nother expense or subscription
Yep.
I don't need.
Yep.
Music that's there in Canva.
And they have music too. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was working on something. I give you this real quick one, and I think educators don't sleep on the free available to people that use their school email. That's Kathy Walker talking about if you're a teacher and you use your school email, you should be able to get Canva for
Oh,
free.
wow.
So that's
That's
really
a great
cool.
tip.
It is a great
Yeah.
tip. And also nonprofits get Canva for free as well. I want to say
Yeah, that's
nonprofits. Let me
huge.
say churches. So if you have a church email address, you can get the pro Canva for free as well. I wanted to give this quick tip that I just saw the other day with the animation of your words and videos. So they actually have the animation that fades in. And then when you're done with that slide, guess what? It fades out, which
Yeah.
is not the whole frame fading out,
Yeah.
but those words fading out, which is a small bit of detail that if you didn't tell somebody you did it in Canva, it would look like Final
Yeah.
Cut. Or
Yeah.
I'm a Adobe Premiere Pro guy, and you know
I'll pray
what it
for
would
you.
take? I know, you know what it takes to do text that fades in and fades out
Oh, yeah.
on
Yeah.
Adobe Premiere Pro. Like, that's not easy. Like, you
Yeah.
have to go through so many different icons to figure out, oh, I want that one. And then
Yep.
then you have to do this, and then you have to do that, and then you type it in, and then you have to erase that because it didn't fit. And Canva makes it really easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I there's a video I think I'm dropping not this coming week, in a week or so, about editing in Final Cut, and there's a graphic I wanted to do at the beginning, and I just popped into Canva and had it animate over green, brought that into Final Cut, and just dropped it over me, and it was that easy. And
That
I
easy.
use a lot of plugins in Final Cut. I
Gotcha.
knew there wasn't what I was looking for, and I thought, dang, I can do this and be done. And it was just so good.
I've
So yeah,
done
it's almost like the Swiss Army knife. I just thought about that. You know, you
I've
can
done
Swiss
I've
Army
done
knife.
commercials. I've done commercials for TV in it. I've done the one I really was proud of. I did when I worked at the credit union, I did a billboard. So I wanted to see how far I could push it, and it looked great. You know, the
Wow.
the billboard people were like, looks printing great. And I was like, I just did that in Canva, you know, because you had all the, you know, we use it at my work. We're 5 of us, creative team at the library. We all just use, you know, the Canva account because we're in there grabbing each other's stuff and templates and reusing things. And
Oh,
I made
it's great.
templates for the website. I've made templates I've made Facebook ads. You add music and transition and stock video. You know, it's just, it is probably the best tool you could use. I agree. I think we all agree on that. The other one that I would say is I really enjoy Ecamm because that's how we're streaming to you guys live here. Of course, there's StreamYard and some other things. I just personally like to have it on my computer. But I used StreamYard when they first came out, and it's really good too. So, you know, some sort of streaming software to change your camera angles and interview guests if you're going to do, you know, content creation. That in Canva, I think you got, you know, your phone, a web camera is as little as you need. You know, you could really do some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I found Ecamm, I thought they crushed it with the functions that you were able to do. When they added on a couple of months later the interview mode, and you didn't have to use Skype anymore, it's like, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, even how simple it makes what we're doing now. A couple people had the idea, hey, can we have our own custom link to send people? So they changed the link to, it doesn't say Ecamm, ours say join us, and it has our icon on it when people receive it. I just think that there's so many different features, the small detail nuances that Ecamm has brought to the table has just been mind blowing. And
I think what a lot of people don't understand is the way I use Ecamm, it takes me back to my TV days, is people say, even at work, they're like, you got that done so fast. I do everything live to tape. So, you know, if you just use it to record your podcast or your video podcast, and you have your lower thirds and all your videos ready and your screen shared, if you do it right, you don't really have to edit anything. You just upload it to YouTube. You're done, you know? So it takes, or even if you do have to, I've done somewhere I had to take it into Premiere, Final Cut, and add maybe a lower third, or maybe add a bumper at the beginning and the end, or make something shorter, or edit a little bit. But it makes the whole process, so super fast. And that's just And when I worked in TV, that was the only way to get through the day is we just did everything live to tape, because it's all set up, you go. So that I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand is you don't have to, these systems, not just because maybe you never go live, but just using it to record and do all the functions can be helpful for you too.
Yep.
That being said, let me shout out my guy Dean that's watching this inside of the Ecamm community page, and also Curtis is over there as well. He says, looking good, guys. Thank you guys for chiming in with us. If you haven't already done this, I've put it up a couple of times. Subscribe to the Scream. Did I say Scream or Stream?
You said the Scream. Yep, you said it.
I should be saying Stream. It is the Stream Show on our YouTube page. So YouTube channel, the Stream Show. Y'all can just search that and you'll see Brant Collins and DJ Strick, and then hit the subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you'll know when we go live. And then you'll hear me probably say screen instead of stream. That's just going to happen, okay? I'm cool with it. You should be cool with it as well. Hey, Kevin, man, I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us, man.
Oh, look, it's always an honor. I have a blast with you guys. Thanks for even thinking of me. Appreciate it.
No problem.
We appreciate it, Kevin.
No problem.
Hey, and check out Kevin Kolbe's channel if you want to learn everything video coaching, live streaming. He'll hit him up too. He's got a great channel.
Definitely hit him up. Check out his YouTube, and if you need a little coaching, go his way. I can't wait to see him. Do some speaking.
Are you gonna go?
Man. I was on the list. I've done the talk to the wife. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how
we have
serious
graduation.
I am about
So
it. Huh?
we have graduation.
Yeah,
so
you were telling me about that. You were telling me about that.
I'll try to get to something Dallas, or I am really, really pitching hard to go to VidCon in LA. Looks like it's going to happen. So that'll be in September. So I'm excited about that one. So
I do understand. Hey, Brant, man, this has been an awesome show today. And everybody that's watched it, please, please, please share this with people like it. And we're going to try to do this again next Sunday, 6 p.m. with Professor Nez.
All right. And hey, if you liked this show and you want to learn a little bit more about streaming with Ustream, you should check over on the Ustream community group where DJ Strick will have his show tomorrow night, same time, 6 p.m. Central, right?
So it's one stream live.
One stream. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yep. Listen, I appreciate that you tried it, brother. You did try it. Thank you so very much.
Stream show, the one stream, the stream yard, the stream.
We're all over the place. So it's the Streamers Hub or the One Stream Lives community page, and we're actually on their Facebook page and their YouTube channel as well. So you can find me everywhere. One Stream Live, and that's tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Check me out. Okay, that being said, Brett, let's get out of here.
Let's do it.
See you next week.